Now, people working from home during the pandemic could be given the opportunity to relocate, I kid you not, to the Caribbean under a proposal from the Barbados government. Prime Minister Amor Mottley is considering introducing a Barbados welcome stamp. That would allow international arrivals to live on the island while working remotely for up to a year. Well, I'm joined now by the Prime Minister of Barbados, Amor Mottley. Very good to talk to you, Prime Minister. Now, I've got to say, when I first mentioned this to a friend that we were going to discuss this, they said to me, that's surely a joke. But I know you're not kidding us because the Prime Minister, no less, has turned up. Tell us more about it.
If I could be with you, I'd let you pinch me so you'd know it wasn't a joke. Look, COVID has presented tremendous challenges to those countries that are tourism dependent and travel dependent. And we've reached a position where we recognize that part of the challenge relates to short-term travel as well. So if we can have a mechanism that allows people who want to be able to take advantage of being in a different part of the world, take advantage of the sun and the sea and the sand, take advantage of a stable society, one that functions well, then Barbados is a perfect place for you to come. And rather than come in for the usual week or 3 weeks or a month, why not plan out your business given the fact that all we've gotten from COVID is uncertainty? So we can give you certainty for the next 12 months that you can come and you can work from here. And in working from here, you will be able to have all of the amenities that you would have if you were just a visitor, but all of the things that you need to do the work so that you can continue to earn. Now, I can't think of a better combination. Can you, Dermot?
No, not really. Well, maybe I could broadcast from there. But what I want to ask you about is, of course, when you say all the facilities needed to work from there, I think a lot of people are going to have first question, what about the broadband and where could I do it from? What about the accommodation?
Yeah, people will have options. There are options in terms of villas, there are options in terms of condominiums, there are options in terms of hotel rooms, and also houses for rent. There's also the ability for persons to be able to find workspace. We have Regis and other entities here that provide the workspace for those who want to work from here. And in terms of the broadband, we have 2 major telecommunications companies. And at the same time, we're looking to see how we can continue to boost our national television station and move it from being a broadcasting entity into a digital services firm, because as you know, broadcasting is not what it used to be.
And I also want to ask you, if you want to stay on and perhaps grow a business there and employ some of your wonderful citizens, tell me about the quality of education, the quality of the workforce to access there.
Well, the truth is that Barbados has always been known for its education. We've exported people not only to the UK, but throughout the Caribbean and the US and Canada. I think that anyone who you speak to will tell you that the quality of education is excellent. Apart from government public education, there are also international schools that treat to a strong community of people who come in and out. And therefore, you can do the international baccalaureate at some of those private schools. At the other schools, we have other things. We would make places available within our school system so that you are in a position to be able to borrow the time and bring your family here without the disruption that would otherwise be occasioned for your family. We recognize that a lot of the people that we want to attract are millennials, and they have families, so we have to be able to do that. Similarly, we have persons who are retired who continue to come here. I should tell you that we are working on a longer-term program of managed migration. We established a National Population Commission when we became the government 2 years ago, and it has finally reported and has indicated that Barbados has not replaced its population since 1980. And to that extent, we're probably about 80,000 people less if we were just to keep our population constant. So we're going to do it in a managed way. In the UK and in particular Canada, you've found ways to do it in ways that do not compromise the integrity of the society or the integrity of the life and quality of life for your citizens. And we believe we can do the same. Barbados is a mature tourism destination. We've had hotels here from the 19th century, and we believe that this is a new value proposition where more and more people are perhaps going to be less interested in short-term stay, but longer
Okay.
periods of time, particularly the difficulties.
OK, Prime Minister, we are beginning to run out of time, but I've just got to ask you then about the COVID situation in Barbados. I understand something under 100 cases, just under 100 cases overall in Barbados, and a handful of deaths. Would you not be a bit worried then about importing more cases?
We are very clear about the processes that we've put in place. We've also expanded our hospital capacity to the point where, whereas we only had 30 ICU beds in the past, we now have 100 primary and secondary ICU beds. We have over 120 tertiary care. So we're ready for any eventuality, but we don't want it here. And therefore, we are very rigorous in terms of what we are testing, who we're testing. We have more than adequate tests for both ourselves and those visiting. And we're also taking a risk-based approach. Yesterday, I spoke to Governor Cuomo for a long time, and us, like New York, believe that we have to have a risk management approach that allows us to be able to be like touch with those who have minimal cases and whose infection rate is below a certain level. And in fact, we're going to have to take some decisions very shortly with those who have a higher infection rate in spite of the plans. I've gotten the population accustomed to the concept of brake and accelerator, no different from what you're doing in the UK. But perhaps we are smaller and therefore we're a little more adept at making it happen.
We are, I'm afraid, out of time. Prime Minister, thank you very much indeed. The Prime Minister of Barbados, Mottley there, with an offer if you're going to work from home for the next while, go to Barbados for a year.